Hello, my people. Hello. What do we have here today? Once Patrick CC uploads, I will come. Pause. No Diddy. No Diddy. That Diddy video did amazing. So thank you so much for watching it. If you did watch it, so thank you. I appreciate it. But we have another Patrick CC video, and it's about another weird nigga. This nigga, Schneider. Oh my god, we have to talk about this nigga, bro. How he fucking was at Disney, as he was at Nickelodeon, fucking touching little kids and shit like that. So, fucking foot fetish and all that shit. We about to see what Patrick CC about to talk about, bro. We about to see. I can't wait. So, show. Without further ado, let's get into this. Pause the fucking music, bro. Pause the fucking black person beat. That's literally what it's called. Well, it's not what it's called, but like, that's why I searched up and that's what showed up. This is Google. This is not the right thing. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Are these like also three of the pedophiles out there? Who the fuck is this nigga? I feel like I've seen him before. Anyways, can I hit.
Is it a coincidence that 3 convicted pedophiles were working at the largest children's television network during the peak of its success and popularity? What if I told you that there was also a convicted pedophile managing the children that were often cast on the network's shows? What if I told you that many of the underage girls were forced to kiss men over the age of 18 on camera? And then what if you found out that multiple of these young victims grew up and were caught performing inappropriate sexual acts with children?
Yeah, what happened to Drake, by the way? That was bad. Like, it was terrible. Holy shit. Like why would you do this? Why did I open up Snapchat? Oh, this is not this is for my girlfriend. Chill. Whoops. Oh, well, flash. I don't care by accident. Why did it go back? I just closed the fucking window. Anyways, my computer been acting up like the whole entire time I've been trying to record. But yeah, I remember about Drake Bell, bro. That shit. Ooh, that nigga. He got. The fuck happened? It went to another video. Oh my god. I'm sorry, people. I am not a professional. But like, why? What just happened? It went to a Drake diss. Listen, bro. I do not want to hear about a Drake diss by Kanye, bro. I don't. Let's get back to the pedophile shit. What the fuck these niggas was doing?
Is it a coincidence that 3
it's not a coincidence.
pedophiles men over the age of 18 on camera? And then what if you found out that multiple of these young victims grew up and were caught performing inappropriate sexual acts with children themselves?
Sorry, I'm trying to make sure it's right.
These are not rumors. These are facts.
Yeah,
when
the facts.
You combine these facts with the realization that many of the jokes, physical comedy, outfits, and even random pieces of the set were sexual innuendos, at some point you'd start to eliminate the possibility of this being a coincidence and start thinking this was all by design. Today I'm going to break down exactly how a powerful network of executives separated child actors from their families, have their actors depend on them for emotional support, and use their power to overwork these children, rake in billions in profits, silence anyone who dared to speak out, and then bragged about it in front of
Nickelodeon didn't protect me.
And just like most organized crime operations, they typically funnel up to one top boss, the untouchable creator of this machine. Insert Schneider, the man behind the camera, the esteemed Nickelodeon producer who created some of the most iconic children's television programs in history.
About this nigga until all this shit came out.
Get sassy with me because I get to write all the scripts with some very talented writers, but I
can pit them in any horrible predicament I choose. Really now. Yeah, that's true. Is he in jail? I actually don't know what happens to this nigga. I know there's a documentary and shit like that, like on Netflix. I don't know what happens to him though.
Schneider was a child actor himself, most notable for his role as Dennis on Head of the Class. During this time, he and his co-star Brian Robbins became great friends. The pair were later asked to co-host the second annual Kids' Choice Awards by a Nickelodeon producer called Albie Hecht. The 3 men struck a friendship and frequently discussed creating a project together. By 1993, Hecht had become a high-level executive at Nickelodeon and challenged Robbins to pitch him a children's television series that their their new production studio could pitch to Nickelodeon.
What's that?
At the time, Nickelodeon was not yet the powerhouse it would become. The network struggled to become profitable in the 80s as they were losing millions of dollars per year. One year, they were actually the lowest viewed network out of all U.S. cable channels.
Damn.
Early 90s cartoons like Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy were allowing the network to pick up higher viewership, but their live-action shows struggled. So Brian recruited Dan, and they came up with a sketch comedy show like Saturday Night Live, but for children, called All That. Dan wrote in his personal blog, "We did a nationwide..."
Before you ask, yes, I'm that fucking young to the point I don't even know what was even called?
But for children.
All That? I don't even know what the fuck all that even is.
All That. Dan wrote in his personal blog, "We did a nationwide talent search and got very lucky. Every kid we ended up hiring for the original All That."
What is All That? Is it like the show? $1994. He was in it? Oh shit, I don't even know. Damn, he was in it. Damn. Okay, hold on. It was a musical. 82% like the show. See the images, bro. Like what was going on in this show? Just singing and dancing and shit, all that. Did it have like a fucking band? No, I don't think so. Can I see like a clip? Can I see like a clip? Let's see a clip. Funny moments. Damn, my internet's like so bad right now. I'm sorry, guys. I just want to see a clip. No? No, you're saying, damn, someone is fucking mowing their grass and it smells like nothing but grass in this bitch. God damn. Like what my boy Corey says, bro.
Amanda, that's enough popcorn. I know what I'm doing.
Have I seen this before? I think I watched this before. I feel like I've watched this popcorn scene before.
Now I'll just turn it on.
No way, that was Austin and Alley. Never mind. I definitely never watched this before. This is loud. This is loud. I definitely never watched this before. I think. What the fuck? Huh. I see. I probably did watch this before. I feel like I watched something like this before. Either it happened in this or in Austin and Alley, where this popcorn scene happened. I think it was Austin and Alley. And but then they left and they came back and it was like this.
Too much. So, what's so bad about a room filled with popcorn?
Damn. I mean, she ain't wrong. What's wrong with that?
See what I see? I see it.
What is it?
A shark.
Popcorn shark!
Yeah, I feel like Kid Me would like this. Not me now, but like Kid Me would definitely have liked that, to be honest.
That cast turned out to be fantastic. Josh Server, Kenan Thompson, Kel Mitchell, Katrina Johnson, Lori Beth Denberg, Angelique Bates, and Alyssa Reyes. Dan recalled that the show didn't test well and that the network felt like kids wouldn't like a sketch comedy show.
It was alright.
They took a chance on him, and the show immediately became a huge success for Nickelodeon as soon as it aired. All That would go on to have 10 seasons and become one of the most culturally significant teen Nickelodeon shows
2005, I probably did watch it.
Imagine how proud the executives were of Dan's performance. They were finally getting the big break they needed, and Nickelodeon was coming closer to becoming a profitable network.
That's cool.
The only thing that could ruin their momentum would be some sort of scandal or reports of child abuse, and that's exactly what happened according to Angelique Bates, who was only 12 years old.
What's up with his face? Is that what is that? What type of mask is that?
But first, a quick word from today's sponsor. Underdog Fantasy. Underdog
they always sponsor you, Patrick. Goddamn, they love you.
Not just basketball. You can make picks on baseball, football, hockey.
I don't watch sports, so this doesn't apply to me. Sorry, boys. This doesn't apply to me, boys.
Makes watching the NBA even more interesting for me.
I don't watch sports.
So rep your team.
I'm sorry, Patrick. I watch you and you only.
Underdog.
From 1992 to 1996, I was a series regular.
Wait, what year?
Dog.
From 1992 to 1996. I was a series regular on Nickelodeon's All That.
Remember that?
I was only 12 years old, and that's when my nightmare began. I was physically, mentally, emotionally.
Physically, what the fuck? See, that's why this is a good thing I checked it. I don't know how long it's been like that. My mic. Oh, my mic probably still is like that. I hate this mic, man. I need a new mic. Can someone please buy me another mic? I beg of you. If only. I don't have enough money. I'm broke. If it's like making that crackling noise, I'm sorry. Like, I can't fix it right now.
Abuse in front of the producers and cast
But
members.
we got lock in.
And
We got lock in.
sometimes they could even hear me yelling. But nothing was done to help me until approximately 1996 when CPS was called. And
that's a long ass fucking time.
When CPS came,
like, damn.
I was pressured by all the adults that were set to protect me to stay silent.
That's crazy.
I did, and I have. But I can no longer stay silent, and I won't. My name is Angelique Bates, and I am an adult survivor of child abuse.
Good for you, bro.
Angelique is the first known survivor who has spoken up against Nickelodeon's corrupt practices, and her story is extremely important because it also highlights the parents' involvement in such abuse. Angelique recalls Nickelodeon producers being upset that her mom was constantly supervising her.
They started having a bullseye for her. She was one of the parents that was not going to leave me unattended on set because by law, parents are supposed to be there.
I'm saying.
So they didn't like that fact that she wouldn't leave me.
Some parents would leave their kids unsupervised while they work.
But that's the thing, though. But okay, it's loading right now. But they have to. Like, that's
trusted the producers and did not.
At the same time, I feel like you should have like somebody, like anybody, like you got to call your favorites or some shit. You gotta be like, hey, or like call their grandparents, bro. Call your mama. Be like, but then your mama might have work. Damn, what can you do? Say if you do have work and both of you and your wife both have work, then you have a kid who's a child actor. What the fuck do you do? At that point, just don't get into child acting then. I don't know. What do you do? It's what they really think about it.
Want to interfere with their child's opportunity to build a career for themselves.
Yeah, but
Angelique's mother was not like that, and she even recalled a time where someone made a sexual advance towards her, and her mother threatened to sue the network. Unfortunately, Angelique's mother was also physically and emotionally abusive towards her, so she wasn't safe on set or at home.
Your own mother? Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I couldn't do it.
Double-edged sword with my mom. My mom's beating my ass, but then she's like protecting me from Nickelodeon all at the same time. Like, she blocked all that. Like I said, the reason why they started hating her was because she was blocking me from that and because she was turning down sexual advances from it.
Angelique slowly received less and less work due to her mother's involvement and believed she was blackballed by Nickelodeon because she and her mother could not be controlled.
I wonder, can y'all really like watch shows and shit like that, like again after like knowing this shit? Cause like people who have watched like that, like could you really watch it? Can you really watch this show again knowing that like what happened during the set? Just let me know.
And because no wrongdoings were ever officially reported, all that like, ratings continued to soar. The series propelled the careers of cast members Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell, who starred in the first All That spin-off, Kenan and Kel. The show originally aired on Nickelodeon for 4 seasons from 1996 to 2001 and was equally as successful as All That, winning the Favorite TV Show award at the 1998 Kids' Choice Awards. They also starred in the Nickelodeon cult classic film Good Burger. However, with Schneider in charge, not much changed behind the scenes. Taisha Hampton, ex-wife of Kel Mitchell, spoke out on suspicious behavior she experienced on Nickelodeon sets. Taisha was married to Mitchell from 1999 to 2005, but they originally met on the set of Good Burger where she was casted as an extra. She too backs up the claims that parents were not around.
And these parents, like Kel's parents, were not with him. All these parents of the kids on the show, their parents were not with them.
Yes.
Separate the children from the parents. That seems to be a theme with Nickelodeon. There are two main reasons why they likely did this. Firstly, it seems like Nickelodeon was trying to take advantage of loose child labor laws in Florida, where the shows were filmed. According to the 1998 Florida Child Labor Code, minors aged 15 and under could work 40 hours per week as long as it was during a holiday or summer vacation. 16 and 17-year-olds who graduated from high school or had their GED did not have to abide by any work hour restrictions. A school superintendent could also issue a waiver of hours, and there is no law that specifically states a parent must supervise their kid while their child is working.
Wow, bro, y'all need to fucking fix that law. Holy shit. So, like, say, I feel like the parents could be like, you know what, you can get a GED, and then boom, they just stay there for fucking hours and hours, and they're like 16 or 17, and it's like, I don't even know what to say. Like, damn. I don't
However,
know.
regardless of what the code says, child labor experts say the laws were rarely enforced or penalized when there was a violation. In 1992,
Really?
Jeffrey Newman of the National Child Labor Committee said that child labor today is at a point where violations are greater than at any point during the 1930s. One report found that the average business could expect to be inspected once every 50 years or so.
50?
Inspectors spend only about 5% of their time looking into child labor problems. Businesses across the entire nation were taking
5%.
advantage of loose
You
child
poor
labor
fucking
laws
kids,
in the
bro. What the
90s.
hell?
Do you think Nickelodeon was any different? Children are more susceptible to exploitation and abuse in the workplace due to their vulnerability and lack of bargaining power.
Yeah.
Think of how easy it would be for a TV producer to torment and gaslight a young actor if they weren't
It's fucking
getting their
easy as
lines
fuck.
right or performing to the producer's
We don't know you,
standards.
brother.
But if
Come
their
on.
parents were there on set witnessing their child get scolded, they might cause a fuss.
Yeah.
Producers want as little friction as possible, so it's not crazy to think that they probably cast talent with parents who stay out of their way. But once they do get the parents out of the way, what do they do with the kids?
They go.
Because
They
we
go.
would get into
fuck
clubs, and
Clubs?
we were young, like 16, 17 years old. We'd be in
them.
clubs.
Scissors.
And
Clubs
the
is
people
fucking
on the
crazy, by
set in Florida made us fake IDs. And so then I started thinking, I was like, wait. What? And then they were talking about orgies, and they were talking about, like, people on the set would show, like, pornos, and they'd give us
Yeah.
alcohol.
Those were kids, like young kids on that set.
Yeah, these
I
were
might get up in
grown
a second then.
30-year-old men and women.
Showing this to the kids. 'Cause
16, 17, 15, 14-year-old
Damn.
kids. But another one of the cast members was like cleaning Dan Schneider's car with a bikini on.
What?
Now this time she had to
Really?
be 15, 16 years old. There were other times they would have like
Hell no.
parties where the parents wouldn't be there, and they'd give us alcohol. And another one of the people on the cast was giving blowjobs to.
Whoa! Now, hold on. That's a left turn right there. Drinking alcohol and all that shit. Now that's crazy. But blowjobs, hold on. I'm about to record, bro. Hold on. I was not expecting that. Wait, blowjobs. What the fuck?
The people on the cast was giving blowjobs to the producer.
Man, what?
wow, one of the kids.
And they were kids.
Tracy Brown,
Man,
whose son,
what?
Brian Hearn, was cast on All That for season 7 and 8, tells a similar story from a mother's perspective.
Because there are many times on that set where they're like, hey, we want to invite Brian.
Damn, this camera quality's fucking butt, man.
Just Brian? And they go, yes.
What the
And I'm
hell?
like, no. And they don't like moms that take control of their child, but
Yeah, I know they don't.
I heard things. So guess what? You don't need to like me.
I'm saying.
And they were like, well, bye-bye. And I was like, let's go. I was not going to
Type shit, mother. What I'm saying. Good shit. The fuck you? What's wrong with these niggas? Talking about some. Actually, fuck you. Fuck you. Like good shit, mother.
Y'all
God
need to
damn.
understand, I'm that woman. I'm not.
I'm saying you that you. Oh yes, I love you. I like you. Good shit.
Anything that might compromise my son, not even for the income.
I'm
But
saying.
many even suspect that the
Fuck the money, bro. Those my child is safe. We chilling.
producer's perversion may have been scripted into the shows, starting with Kyra on Kenan and Kel, who was just 12 years old but was always trying to flirt and make sexual advances on the much older Kel. She would refer to him as her boyfriend despite him being obviously uninterested because she is a child. At the same time that Kenan and Kel were huge stars, one All That cast member emerged and became the most iconic Nickelodeon star of all time,
Who's that?
Amanda Bynes.
Amanda
At just
Bynes?
10 years old, Amanda stood out amongst her peers and showcased her comedic talents through various characters and sketches. As a preteen, she was maturely confident and comfortable on screen. According to Leon Frierson, who was cast on All That since season 1, Schneider showed clear favoritism for Bynes. We
I
had to
bet
go
he
to
did.
school on set. There would be times
he
when
did,
Amanda
bro.
would just be missing, he recalled in the docuseries.
Finally got my scissors. But let's get into this. Let's re-get into this. I ain't running or anything, so let's go.
A lot of times we would hear she would be with Dan, pitching ideas and writing. We see them grow closer to each other on set.
Ew.
He continued. Amanda
Nasty.
Bynes' parents were very hands-on in her career, specifically her dad. His presence was always felt. A big part of that was his relationship with Dan Schneider. Like we said before, hands-on parents were not wanted on Nickelodeon's set.
Right.
That is, unless they are bending to the interests of Dan Schneider. Despite
terrible.
the favoritism, Dan never planned on giving Amanda her own show because he claims he never wanted to be on children's television. He initially created and helped produce a series called Guys Like Us for the United Paramount Network at their primetime 8 p.m. slot. Guys Like Us revolves around two young men, Sean Barker and Jared Harris. The pair are forced to look after Jared's 6-year-old brother Maestro, who comes to live with them after Jared's father accepts a job opportunity overseas.
Why don't you go wash your hands?
They're clean.
Well, then go wash your feet.
Dan's sitcom designed
crazy.
for adults was an utter failure.
Oh, well, that seems like a theme. I was like, feet. I had to think about it. Feet. That nigga do love feet.
As he was not funny nor creative enough to keep adults entertained. It was canceled after one season due to abysmal ratings.
Damn.
So he shifted his focus to creating a show around Amanda. The Amanda Show was a sketch comedy television program that had a very similar look, feel, and comedic style as All That and Kenan and Kel. Schneider struck gold again. The Amanda Show became the highest rated live-action television program on Nickelodeon during its run. Amanda portrayed various characters that would become iconic, such as Judge Trudy, Crazy Courtney, and Amanda's obsessive fan, Penelope Taint.
My name is Penelope Taint. I'm Amanda's #1 fan, please.
And it took us 20 years to realize that her last name was a sexual innuendo. People also think that her catchphrase, Amanda Please, was built off the phrase, a man to please, which would be such a deep, detailed level of innuendo that it's kind of hard to believe. However, as this video goes on, it just seems more and more possible. People today also believe that her sketch called Amanda's Jacuzzi may have been inappropriate since the whole concept was her as a 13-year-old interviewing mostly grown men in a hot tub. And of course, another foot joke.
Is it also true that you put both of your feet inside your mouth at the same time?
Of course, another feet joke. Nigga loves feet. No, ew, stop.
No.
Thank you.
Even Dan decided to jump in the jacuzzi with Amanda.
Really?
Welcome to my jacuzzi. Today my special guest is the executive producer of the Amanda Show, Dan Schneider.
Hi.
Now you're
There's
the
no-
producer of the show.
Yes, I'm the executive producer and the head writer.
People believe Dan was almost bragging by creating lightly sexual conduct into his kids' shows, like the Spitballer 5000, which was a phallic object that the kids had to blow into to launch a giant spitball at someone. Behind-the-scenes footage indicates that Dan and Amanda were very close, which is why it was shocking that The Amanda Show abruptly ended in 2002, just 3 years after it aired on Nickelodeon. In an interview with The Times, Bynes explained that she decided to leave for other opportunities. I was having fun, but at 15, you don't want to be doing what you did when you were 12. Schneider also commented on her exit with, I've seen kids in her position experiment with drugs and be too promiscuous, but Amanda has avoided all of that. My wife, who knows her, says she's almost like Marsha Brady in that she's so clean-cut and wholesome. This quote seems characteristically odd from Dan. Like she was just talking about transitioning to more mature roles like her sitcom What I Like About
Just
You,
drugs out of
and
nowhere?
he had to bring up drugs and
saying,
sex for some
what?
reason. Many years later,
That's
cast
weird.
members would come out and speak about how they perceived Amanda behind the scenes. Actress Chelsea Brummett, who co-starred on All That, recalled, she was closed off to everyone. You'd ask her a question and she'd give you a quick answer to end the conversation. She was always defiant with her dad, but she tried to hide things from her dad. She always seemed like she was trying to hide things. They would butt heads. This recountment does line up with the timeline of 2003, where Amanda sought to be emancipated from her parents at just 17 years old. In June of 2003, Amanda's agent, manager, and lawyer were all abruptly fired by her parents. The young star, now 17, was seeking legal emancipation from her parents, who were furious when they discovered that the reps had concealed this fact from them. Unfortunately, Amanda was not able to successfully get emancipated. During this rough patch in her life, Bynes reportedly leaned on Schneider and his wife, Lisa Lillian, for support. She was spending a lot of time with us, said Lillian, but she never left her family's house. This direct quote from Dan's wife is strong evidence that Dan and Amanda were close off set. Amanda has spoken out very—
I'm sorry to pause, but like, you know, but something just crazy just popped up on my notification. So, you know the outro for like any of my gaming videos, you know? That outro is now today a year old. That's crazy. I made that outro a year ago. Damn. Damn, time really is moving. Fuck, man. Sorry, I just
very
had to say that.
strongly against her father, and maybe at the time looked at Schneider as a replacement father figure. Dan
Ew,
also
nigga, fat as
recently
fuck.
recounted
Sorry.
a night where Amanda
It's
ran
him.
away from home.
My God.
One night, it was very late, well after midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning. Phone rang. I answered. It was Amanda. She was upset. She was in distress. She had had some conflict with her parents, I think her father.
Right.
And she called me. I was immediately concerned about her safety. I called someone who I knew was fairly nearby. That person was able to go and pick her up. Then I knew she was safe. I felt better. She ended up being taken to the police.
As much as people blame Dan for the downfall of Amanda's career, or claim that he had suspicious involvement that's deeper and more inappropriate, throughout Amanda's whole life and numerous public spirals, she never blamed or accused Dan Schneider of anything. All of her anger and horrible accusations were towards her biological father.
That's crazy.
However, the cloud of mystery and potentially inappropriate behavior surrounding Amanda, as well as her obviously broken family life, seemed to be a common gray area Dan found himself in with his stars. Over the years, some of the most prominent stars like Jamie Lynn Spears, Jeanette McCurdy, and Ariana Grande all had absent fathers. On one hand, you can blame the parents. On another, you could look at Dan as a predatory opportunist.
I think it's Dan's fault.
Or maybe it's a little bit of both.
Yeah,
There was a real convicted predator who worked underneath Dan Schneider. Jason Handy, a production assistant who worked on All That and The Amanda Show, exchanged email addresses and phone numbers with parents and kids who thought he was a friendly and helpful presence on set.
But he wasn't.
Oh, I could be friends with this person, said MJ, the mother of a former actress on The Amanda Show, who was identified as Brandy. The mother was mortified when she saw her 11-year-old daughter looking at a graphic email from Handy.
It was a picture of him naked.
This is the show. Wait. He was naked. The fuck? Anyway, this is the show I was talking about. The Quiet on Set, the dark side of kids TV. This is the show I was talking about. And everything, but what he said?
Had a graphic email from Handy.
It was a picture of him naked.
What the fuck? What the hell? Naked, nigga. No one want to see your little ass cock, nigga. Fuck it.
Masturbating.
Oh, it's nasty.
And he said he had sent it to her because he wanted her to see.
Hell no.
That he was thinking of her.
Her daughter left the entertainment industry after that email. Andy was arrested in April of 2003 after law enforcement received a tip about him. When the police investigated his home, they found over 1,700 images of young girls in erotic poses, as well as 7 videos on CD files of children engaged in sexually explicit conduct. In Andy's personal
What the fuck? That nigga weird as hell. What the fuck? 10,000 images of children and over erotic poses. What about kids really turns a nigga on? Like predators. What really turns a nigga on? They are on the clock. Date someone your own age. Oh wait, that's probably why. Cause they can't date someone their own age, so they go to the fucking kids. We can't be for real, bro. We can't be for real out here, bro. Do better.
Diary, he wrote sentences like, I am a pedophile full blown. He added, I have really been giving into my desire for little girls these past few weeks.
And this nigga's admitting it. What the fuck is going? What is up on this nigga, bro? What in your head just turns on and just be you know what? I like kids now. What makes you think that?
And then he detailed his day-to-day struggle on how he could find a victim that he could sexually assault. In 2004, Handy was sentenced to 6 years in prison after being convicted.
Bro, get this nigga life. He said he gonna do it, bro. I bet you $1,000. As soon as he gets out, Oh wait, it's probably. I saw the picture. Hang on, there's pictures in here. It was 2013. Right here. Did he get arrested again? Then, maybe.
Explicit material by email. Detailed his day-to-day struggle on how he could find a victim that he could sexually assault. In 2004, Handy was sentenced to 6 years in prison after being convicted on 2 felony counts, one of lewd acts on a child and one of distributing sexually explicit material by email, as well as on a misdemeanor charge related to sexual exploitation of a child. Many of you are probably thinking 6 years is not enough.
I'm saying.
And surprise, surprise, he got out and in 2014 committed 2 other felony sex offender violations.
So I was right, he did it again. Oh, it's clear this nigga is intent to just keep doing it over and over again. Oh, my girlfriend texted me. Hold on now. Hold on now. My girlfriend texted me, bro. I love my girlfriend. But hold on, girlfriend. Give me 2 seconds. Because, like, there is just no way you are over here just getting out of prison. Spend like 6 years in that. Somehow doesn't get killed. Somehow. I don't know how the fuck he doesn't get killed. Because I ain't gonna lie. Pedophiles in prison is not very popular. I'm just saying they would get killed. But literally, he comes out, does it again, doesn't learn his lesson. And I bet you $1,000 if he had like 10 years, in the next 10 years, he would do it again. How much would I bet?
The child. Allegedly, Handy's case prompted Nickelodeon to toughen its background checks for all employees, trying to prevent this from happening again. Yet somehow, this was not even close to the last time a pedophile would infiltrate Nickelodeon's network.
Hell no.
Actor Drake Bell formed a bond with the dialogue coach
Drake.
Brian Peck during the second season of The Amanda Show. Peck, who has no relation to Drake's co-star Josh Peck, would invite Drake to his house for acting lessons. These lessons were supervised by Drake's father, Joe, who was told that Brian Peck was a skilled coach who would help Drake secure more acting opportunities. However, over time, Joe became uncomfortable with their relationship.
And unfortunately, I started seeing Brian start to just hang around Drake too much.
Yeah.
And it didn't set well with me. Drake would be in the dressing room or something, and in would pop Brian and just touch Drake.
Ew.
You know, do things that, wait a second, what are you doing? Drake can put that on himself. And the thing is, this is in front of people.
Joe expressed his concerns with production personnel and said he was uncomfortable with Brian, only to be called homophobic because of Brian's sexual orientation.
Homophobic, nigga, that's my fucking kid. I don't care if you're homophobic or not. You're not touching my kid like that. The fuck? What's wrong with niggas, bro? Talking about some homophobic. That's my kid, nigga. I don't give a fuck what, like, who the fuck you like. That is my kid, bro. You should not be touching my kid like that. That is my kid, nigga. Like, ooh, bro, I hate niggas like that, bro. You're so homophobic. And I'm playing. I'm not homophobic.
Therefore, Joe backed off. Once this got back to Brian, he manipulated Drake into severing ties with his father/manager, suggesting that Joe was sabotaging Drake's career. Peck subsequently integrated himself into multiple areas of Bell's life and became a father figure for the young actor. Eventually, Peck convinces Drake's mother to let him stay at his house during auditions. These predators entice the children with fame and fortune, convince them that their parents are trying to hold them back, then totally isolate them into who knows what behind closed doors.
Fame and fortune? Say less.
That all the kids who made it out unscathed were because of parents who stepped in and removed their child from the situation before it was too late. However, the more popular the actor was, such as Drake Bell, the more difficult it became to remove them from the industry.
True.
Sadly, with Brian Peck and Drake Bell, we do know what happened behind closed doors. When Drake slept on Brian's couch, the sexual assault began.
I was sleeping on the couch where I would usually sleep, and I woke up to him. I just opened my eyes, I woke up, and he was sexually assaulting me.
That's crazy.
Why don't you think of the worst stuff that someone can do to somebody as a sexual assault?
Nigga was sucking his cock. Oh my god. He was sucking this nigga dick while he was asleep. Oh my god. What the fuck, bro? They was sucking this nigga dick while he was asleep, man. Come on, bruh. That ain't cool, man. that ain't cool, bruh. That's a whole entire child. You over there sucking his penis. Come on.
And that'll answer your question.
Drake wouldn't tell anyone for several months. The abuse persisted until Drake began spending more time at a girlfriend's house. One day, when he was supposed to meet with Brian, Drake said he did not want to hang out. Brian then started calling his phone nonstop. When Drake failed to answer, Brian obsessively started calling his girlfriend's house, which is when the girlfriend's mother suspected something was wrong and took Drake to her family therapist. He later detailed the abuse to his own mother, who called the police. I had to be excruciatingly detailed about every single thing and time that had happened with two absolute strangers. The worst part was I had to make a phone call to Brian and get him to admit to what he'd done. The police monitored a wired phone call with Brian, who broke into a full-on confession that led to his arrest. The investigation was conducted privately, and Bell remained unidentified to the public for several years due to his age at that time. Drake did tell Dan Schneider about this situation right before the trial.
And when Drake and I talked, and he told me what had happened.
So this is Dan Schneider?
I was more devastated by that than anything that ever happened to me in my career thus far. And I told him, I'm here for you.
Hell no.
What do you need? But Drake's mom, a
weirdo.
lovely woman who I stay in contact with this day, she came to me at the time and she said, Dan, I'm not good with words like you are. And would you help me with my speech for the judge? I said, of course.
So is he crying or was he imitating the mother? Because I'm kind of lost. What the fuck?
I did.
During Brian Peck's trial, numerous prominent figures in the entertainment industry wrote
was like a
letters of
360.
support vouching for
He
his
was like
character.
talking normal, then like what the fuck? like are you imitating her? Or are you trying to cry yourself? I'm lost.
Character, including James Marsden, Taron Killam, Growing Pains
shit.
star Alan Thicke, Boy Meets World actors Will Friedle and Ryder Strong, among others. Some of these figures, including Friedle and Strong, have since expressed their regret over writing the letters and stated that they were manipulated by Peck's misinformation. Brian Peck was convicted of child molestation in 2004, pleading no contest to a charge of oral copulation with a minor under 16 and a charge of performing a lewd act with a 14 or 15-year-old. He spent only 16 months in prison and was mandated to register as a sex offender. And if you are surprised at that abysmally low sentencing, Peck got out and secured a job working for Disney.
What?
Sweet Life.
He worked on A Sweet Life on Deck. I fucking love that show. He was working on it. Oh my god, bro. Fucking love that show, bruh. Bruh, I can go. I should rewatch that. Oh, I should be like, no. How does it go? I forgot. There's like two of them. I like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and The Sweet Life on Deck. You know, I like those. The Sweet Life on Deck, I think I like them more than. I know this ass taste, but I know The Sweet Life on. I think I like The Sweet Life on Deck more than the other one. That's just how I felt. Even when I was little, because I was like, "Oh, Sweet Life on Deck, ooh, that shit fire, that shit funny." Like that shit was funny to me. I remember like 5 years ago, I rewatched it. Oh my god, that shit was so good. I should rewatch it again. That shit was like so. I don't know what it's on though. Literally, someone please tell me what the fuck Sweet Life on Deck is on. Like what? No, never mind. I got it. Whatever. Tell me what the fuck y'all favorite Disney show is.
Where he voiced London Tipton's talking mirror for 3 episodes. The Disney
Hell
Channel
no.
hired a
I actually remember that
registered sex
episode.
offender. Despite these
That's
horrible
crazy.
circumstances,
Good
Drake
Josh.
remained in the industry and would go on to star alongside Josh Peck in their legendary buddy comedy, Drake and Josh, which again caused the network's ratings to explode to new heights.
That's good.
The series premiere was watched by 3.2 million viewers.
Damn!
The network's highest rated series premiere in nearly 10
Such a good-
years.
this is also
Drake and
such a
Josh
good show. I should
episodes
rewatch
regularly saw
this too.
viewership upwards of 5, 6, 7 million. As of 2006, the show ranked consistently among the 10 most watched cable shows across all of television.
That's good, 'cause it was
And you could
that
just
good.
add Zoe 101 to the list of
Ooh, Zoe
Dan's
101?
dominant programs, which saw an
Look what
average of
this-
3 million viewers per episode. It was on the set of Zoe 101 where even more photos emerged of Dan getting
Oh, I
a
think it
little
is.
too comfortable with the cast, particularly Erin Sanders, who was merely a child being held and coddled on Dan's lap. You can also see this photo where Dan's hand is resting on the child's lower back. Zoe 101 also
Nasty.
had 34 different kissing scenes across its 4
34?
seasons. While this may not seem that strange for a teen drama show, it did often lead to underage female actresses kissing over 18-year-old males. Brando Eaton was...
Why is like over 18-year-old males getting cast for like 16-year-olds or some shit like that? Like a 24-year-old can get cast as like a 17-year-old or 16-year-old or some shit. Like that's kind of crazy to me. And just a little ass girl who's like 13 can get cast as like a 13-year-old to like 15 or 16-year-old. Like that's so stupid to me. It's weird. It's nasty.
20 years old, and Victoria Justice was 14.
See?
Victoria at this time
Shit,
also
like,
had to
what the
kiss
hell?
Jaron Vosberg, who was 18. And get this, 12-year-old Jamie Lynn Spears had to kiss 22-year-old Justin Timberlake on the set of All That, and Justin dated Britney Spears, which is Jamie's sister, 3 years earlier.
That's crazy.
Also, this Zoe 101 scene resurfaced recently, and many believe it to
Ew.
be a sexual innuendo. Spears' co-star, Alexa Nicolas, recalled Dan making a crew member squirt the syringe of goo
Hell
at Spears
nah.
over and over again. It's also important to remember that all of the information that you now know from this video was totally unknown by the public at the time. All the allegations and predatory behavior was all silenced before they could ever reach headlines. Barely any media outlets were reporting on why pedophiles were allowed to work on set. Survivors were scared
Too
to
many.
speak their truth, and even if they wanted
too many.
to, they would have to go through a publicist or rely on a potentially corrupt media outlet to tell their story
Man,
the
that's
right
just
way.
so stupid.
All
Like, you
anyone
can't
saw
do
was
anything
the
about it.
final product on television, so we assumed everything was consensual and safe and approved by people who had the best interests of the children in mind.
I'm saying.
Even if the network was suspicious of Dan and his production staff, which they weren't, they were going to do anything and everything to protect his reputation because Nickelodeon was red hot. At this point, they had been the #1 network in viewers aged 2 to 11 for over a decade. They were raking in millions of viewers and billions of dollars. Dan had more power than ever and was about to unleash all of his sick fantasies through iCarly. The basic premise of iCarly was that Carly Shay...
Damn, I don't think I can rewatch iCarly now, to be honest. Now that I know what everything that happened in iCarly, I don't think I can rewatch it, to be honest.
Played by previous Drake and Josh co-star Miranda Cosgrove, and her friends Sam and Freddie, played by Jeanette McCurdy and Nathan Kress, produce a web show from Carly's older brother's apartment. The show resonated with the real-world rise of online content creation and the growing influence of social media platforms like YouTube during the 2000s. The show within a show encouraged fan interaction by incorporating segments that invited viewers to participate in the show's interactive elements. Additionally, the characters often responded to fan mail and viewer submissions on their web show, further blurring the lines between fiction and reality. Like, take a look at this time they called a 12-year-old fan.
Do you have any questions for Sydney?
I follow your Twitter.
How old are you? I'm 12. No way, I just turned 16.
You're 12?
Yes.
I'm like a little over double that.
Yeah, Jerry's all old. What do you like about iCarly?
I love it. It's really funny.
Anything else you want to know about iCarly or any questions or anything?
No.
No? You're all set?
No.
Thank you.
I know what I know.
Would you like us to get on a plane and come to your house?
Yes.
Really? Oh,
No, that's not going to happen.
Oh, okay.
That's such a dickhead move. Oh, hell nah. I swear, bro. If I heard that, I'd be like, man, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you. What the hell? What's the question? Why the hell would you ask that?
Hey.
Dan himself often communicated directly with fans on his blog, danwarp.blogspot.com, where he gave behind-the-scenes information and did Q&As. He also started giving tons of behind-the-scenes clips to his Dan Warp YouTube channel, giving us insight on the cast's uncomfortability around him.
What? It wouldn't be a video from iCarly if I didn't do this to you. I don't know.
Damn.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
What's going on? What are you wearing today? Who did your outfit?
What are you wearing today? Ew. I don't know about that.
Don't do anything with this footage. Please, it's so lame.
Did you know that the average adult American male has 18 hairs on each of his toes?
This is what happens when it gets late.
Yeah, seriously.
What? Who the fuck wants to know that? And why do you know that? What the fuck?
Let us go home, Dan.
We would be home if you had gotten some of your lines right earlier in the day, right? Am I right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who's embarrassed now? Who's embarrassed? No.
What are you doing?
I'm scared.
Why you keep getting so close to her? You keep getting so close to her face. Holy shit, man.
Susie May Page wants to know.
Susie May Page.
Yeah, if you could fill a pool with "Get Out of Here." Sorry. Wants to know if you could fill a pool with anything you like and swim in it. What would it be and why?
Confetti, because it's a celebration in the pool.
Type shit though.
Okay, that makes no sense.
Okay.
Miranda.
That's the why is,
What? I didn't ask the question.
Oh, sorry. Well, I heard. I was thinking this whole time.
Okay, the question is, if you wanted me to hit you with a bottle of something, what would it be? Pineapple juice? Okay, here comes. This is why I'm in Hollywood.
Yeah, eat your cereal, kids.
Oh, ew. Niggas kiss them. Do not kiss them. Do not kiss her.
Because I will tase her if necessary.
Uh-oh.
I have
Tase?
the taser. We haven't had to use it in a long time.
I said lots of
In a long time.
Oh, I said nice things.
You used it before?
That's gonna get on TV.
I'm saying.
That's gonna get on TV.
In these clips, you can get a glimpse of Dan's unpredictability. I mean, just look at how Miranda steps away from Dan as he proceeds to make his way around her back, and then hugs her from behind as she stands awkwardly still. As you can see, while Dan is shoving a camera in these actors' faces, they're often confused. Is he joking? Is he angry? Is he creepy? Is he going to touch them or grab them? They look extremely uncertain around him as he talks to them like a classic jester. But iCarly was a massive success for the network throughout its 6 seasons from 2007 to 2012.
Until I knew all this.
The pilot episode debuted on Nickelodeon to an audience of 4.1 million, followed by the second episode on the same day with 3.9 million viewers. The show was nominated for an Emmy Award for Outstanding Children's Program 5 times.
That's good, but
and averaged 4.6 million viewers throughout its time on Nickelodeon. Somehow, Dan managed to outdo Drake and Josh. But looking back on the show, many of the jokes and innuendos were more blatant than we remember.
Yeah.
How long? 3.2 seconds.
Yeah! That's the longest it's ever taken you to beat me.
Or how about the sack, which was
why is that such like a celebration? That's how long we still lost. Oh, what the fuck happened? Oh no, what happened? My camera just turned off. I don't know why my camera. No, my camera just turned off. But why did my lights turn off? What the hell? Whatever. I think for some reason my light turned off. I don't know why. That was weird. How do I look? Amazing. Top tier. Okay, still on. Anyways.
And making fun of the Snuggie.
You're just sitting on your couch trying to polish your bowling ball, but
ball?
your blanket keeps flying off your body.
Oh damn.
Oh, my blanket keeps flying off my body.
Like, are we reading into it too much, or is polishing your ball while advertising the sack not strategic? They mentioned that the sack comes in 4 different colors.
I didn't even notice.
The sack comes in rash red, mucus green, husk yellow, or blue.
His shows are always displaying close-ups of feet and putting cast members in predicaments where they have to touch each other's feet. Nobody thinks feet are this funny, especially not for them to be such a recurring bit in a television show. Many have pointed out that the Nickelodeon logo at one point was a foot, suggesting that Dan's influence was so strong he got them to change their logo momentarily to his fetish. I even found something on his blog that was particularly interesting. He had a segment called Fun Facts on his blog where he would go through an iCarly script and talk about tiny little details and why they matter. Like this one where he refers to Sam's necklace and how it's made of the same plastic that the antique radios that he collects are made out of. I mention this because it proves that there are no coincidences with what you see on screen. No matter how small or insignificant it may seem, Dan put it there on purpose. In this same episode, which is called I Date a Bad Boy, Dan says, scenes begin with Carly and Sam cutting a boy's hair. We see the first of 2 penny teas in this 1-hour episode. This one on Sam says, noodle booty. What does noodle booty mean?
Noodle booty?
Why did Dan specifically point out her shirt and want us to know what it says? In another blog post, he specifically points out one of his intentionally inappropriate jokes. One where he wrote a joke where an adult woman sexualizes 17-year-old Nathan Kress. Dan writes, on the first few takes when Jane said her line, hey, those pants fit you real good, she was looking at the front of his pants. I had the director step in quietly and tell her that, because this is for Nickelodeon, we'd prefer she look at the back of his pants on that line. Winky face.
What?
I guess Dan thinks that complimenting a young boy's butt is somehow more appropriate.
No.
Additionally, take a look at this 2010 blog post where he discusses adults who watch iCarly. He writes, there are around 150 people who work on iCarly, and none of us approach it like we're making a kid's show. We make iCarly no differently than if we were writing and producing a primetime half-hour comedy for NBC, CBS, or any one of the major broadcast networks. This statement directly contradicts what he said while addressing the Quiet on Set documentary.
Some people think that some of those jokes are inappropriate for children. What do you think of that?
Every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience because kids thought they were
So you're
funny.
you're contradicting what you
So
said.
Dan, are the jokes for adults?
Yeah,
like
which
you
one?
said 10 years ago on your blog? Or are they for kids? Like you just said recently.
I'm saying, Patrick, good question for real. What the fuck? What is he
Pressure is
talking
at an
about?
all-time high. It was also during iCarly when 47-year-old Martin Weiss, who managed dozens of child actors, was formally charged with sexually abusing a former client. The victim told police that he had sex with Weiss 30 to 40 times about 6 years ago, and the abuse ended when he turned 15 years old. But Weiss denied that it was rape because the 15-year-old boy showed interest. But the boy said that Martin convinced him that this was common in the industry, and denying him would ruin his career. Yet again, a pedophile infiltrated Nickelodeon.
I'm saying, there's too many of them.
Still, Dan was absolutely dominating. He likely had unimaginable power at the network. Whatever he said goes, but he may have gotten a little too comfortable, maybe even cocky, because his next 2 shows, Victorious and Sam and Cat, would start to get him in a lot of trouble.
That's good,
Schneider
though.
was challenged
Fuck
with
this.
writing a competitor to Disney Channel's Hannah Montana. Zoe 101 had recently ended, and Dan knew that featured actress Victoria Justice had star power. If there is anything I've learned about kids today, and I'm not saying this is good or bad, it's that they all want to be stars. This direct quote from Dan potentially backs up accusations that he uses these teenagers' desires for stardom to manipulate them. Ironically, the plot of Victorious is about a girl who attends a performing arts school and aspires to be a famous singer. In 2010, iCarly and Victorious were the top 2 live-action shows on Nickelodeon, helping Nick maintain its 16-year status as the #1 network on all of cable. Victorious aired from 2010 to 2013 through 4 seasons, winning Favorite TV Show at the 2012 and 2013 Kids' Choice Awards,
I bet it was
beating
like
out
such a good show,
as well as receiving 4 Emmy nominations. To the surprise of no one, Dan created another iconic children's TV show, but at what cost? Before the show premiered, Nickelodeon Productions partnered with the Columbia Epic label group of Sony Music Entertainment to co-produce the series to develop talent and release their music. Ariana Grande famously got her big break on Victorious. She was the perfect addition to the show due to her amazing singing capabilities, but her role on the show was the airheaded girl who says literally anything that is on her mind. Perfect for Dan to take advantage of and insert more innuendos.
Sometimes I wonder if you can get juice from a potato.
What? Oh, that's wrong.
Is it possible for a teenage girl to drink water upside down? I'm thirsty.
So like, so me and you, we both see what's going on the screen, right? Because what the fuck?
It's not possible.
This clip of Dan and the Victorious cast behind the scenes has been dissected many times over the years, where Ariana and Elizabeth Gillis seem visibly uncomfortable due to Dan's presence.
That was one of the better things I've ever heard.
Hey!
Hi, what's going on here? Why are you sitting on the floor of the set?
Ariana is constantly looking around, covering up her body as Dan towered over her.
Yeah.
Many in the comments speculate that Liz started causing distractions so that Dan wouldn't do whatever they seemed to be afraid of. However, Liz Gillis actually ended up marrying a Nickelodeon producer that she met on the set of Victorious.
Oh, really? What the hell?
Michael Corcoran is a very close friend to Dan Schneider.
Oh,
he wrote the theme songs for iCarly and Victorious. Liz and Michael began dating in 2012 when she was 18 and he was 40. They did.
Who is calling me? Bear is calling me. Hang on, Bear. My friend Bear. What's up, Bear?
What you doing?
Recording a video. Oh, okay. Say what's up, Bear. All right. You want me to get on soon? I Alright, I'll get on in a second after I'm done this video. Alright. Oh, that's my nigga Bear. He made a cameo. But that's crazy. What the hell? But this nigga was 40 and she just turned 18. She's literally my age right now. She was literally my age right now when she started dating this nigga. That is crazy.
Meet on set before she was 18, which leads many to believe that she was groomed, but they are still together to this day. According to Jeanette McCurdy, Schneider regularly compared the iCarly cast to that of Victorious.
Yeah, I bet.
The Victorious kids get drunk together all the time. The iCarly kids are so wholesome. We need to give you guys a little edge, Schneider said, according to McCurdy.
Don't ever do that shit.
Supplying minors with alcohol is a major accusation. There is definitely a lot of online evidence showing that the Victorious cast were very close, often mingling and hanging out after hours, but whether or not they are drunk is impossible to determine. However, the actor who portrayed Beck on Victorious may have confirmed McCurdy's statements on a TikTok that read, "When you don't remember the plotline to a single Victorious episode, but you remember going out partying every night." Daniela Monet, who played the lead's older sister, Trina Vega, told Insider that some of the actors' outfits on the show were not age appropriate, and that she wouldn't even wear some of that today as an adult.
To be honest, there were some scenes where I was little. I was like, ooh, no cap, ooh. But I was a little bit.
Daniela also recalled a time when she contacted Nickelodeon about a Victorious scene where she ate a pickle while applying lip gloss. She expressed concern to the network that it was too sexual to air, but Nickelodeon aired it anyway. And in case you were wondering if Dan ever slowed down on his foot content, no. He actually ramped it up.
I bet.
There we go.
Ew! Got like...
Spread your toes, girl.
Woo! I still say this is not performing.
How about two girls fighting over a guy's foot while he
the
sings a song?
fuck? That was nasty.
Wow, they're really soft. Nurses,
I don't want to see all this fucking feet shit. I
But it was
don't.
around 2012 and 2013 when people online finally started to question what was going on at Nickelodeon. I believe it was due to Amanda Bynes' very public downward spiral. It was around this time she made headlines for her first DUI, assaulting a member of the paparazzi, being
Right.
seen in public looking disheveled and distraught. Then she
Right.
was evicted from her New York City apartment, and she got some
Right.
strange dimple piercings and even posted lewd photos that were not very flattering. In short, people were saying that she was going crazy, and naturally
Indeed she
they
was.
started to question the children's television industry that she grew up in. An infamous blind item appeared on the Crazy Days and Nights blog
Blind
of
item?
someone trying to warn the public about Dan. He's a monster, the worst predator alive, and if you wonder why nobody will confront or charge him, he's in charge of multiple hit shows for Nick, which rakes in oceans of money. What about
bet.
parents? No tweener parent who shoved their kid into the limelight from birth is going to cross him either, and risk career suicide and loss of revenue, no matter how bad it F's up the kids. It was also around this time that a Redditor
bad,
alleged
bro.
that Dan
Some
offered
pages
them
need to, like,
$100
ooh,
to
I don't
tickle
know.
their feet while on set
What?
of his shows. Now, none of these claims were backed by any real or substantial
That-
evidence,
that,
but
like,
it
that-
did
that
get
had to be
people
fake.
talking.
There's no way.
Media outlets finally
There's no
began
way you pay
speaking out,
$100 for that.
questioning the intentions of children's TV, specifically pointing to the sexual nature of Victorious. Those designer threads often have an adult sexiness that unsuccessfully straddles the line between tasteful and trampy. While guys are allowed to be quirky and weird-looking, girls are uniformly cast from the same Bratz doll
Personality.
mold. Meanwhile, you had Dan posting things on his blog like, "But what Kat does in this scene is a special variation of the spit take, where the liquid just falls out of her mouth.
Blech.
Yes, this is what I do for a living. I analyze the various kinds of spit takes. Not a bad job." Smiley face.
Nasty,
After this quote from Dan, we now know that this photo, which is on the official Zoe 101 IMD page, showing Victoria Justice with spit falling out of her mouth, is probably his creation. You also had people in the early 2010s analyzing his old tweets, ones where he was constantly talking about people's feet and toes.
What's up with these
This
toes,
toe
bruh?
belongs to one of the stars on one of my shows. Whose toe is this?
Nobody
To which
cares.
he later tweeted, "The toe belongs to the sweet and hilariously talented Miss Jeanette McCurdy. Sam and Cat tomorrow. Right on the bottom of your foot, take a
Sam.
pic and use hashtag Sam and Cat Saturday. We will retweet and follow until our fingers get sore." I also found this
Hell no.
extremely old Pepsi commercial Dan starred in the late 80s, which potentially features an innuendo with the lotion shot
Ew.
splattering on the guy's chest. Then the focus of the entire commercial being on his feet not wanting to touch the sand because it's hot. And of course, there's females in the background in their bikinis. Dan was unaware of the digital renaissance aiming to take him down, and he was as reckless as ever. iCarly was officially over, and Victorious was scheduled
They
to
was
end a
both
few months
gone.
later. Schneider decided to hit two birds with one stone and make a dual spin-off for both shows. He took a fan favorite from iCarly in Sam Puckett and a fan favorite from Victorious in Cat Valentine, and created a teen sitcom titled Sam and Cat. The premise of the
Sam
show
and Cat was
revolved
good,
around
though,
the unlikely
to me,
friendship of Sam
when I
and
was little.
Cat, who meet and become roommates in Los Angeles while starting their own babysitting business to make ends meet, which is basically the same plot as his failed primetime sitcom from the 90s. The pilot
Yeah.
debuted on Nickelodeon to 4.2 million
Remember that.
viewers and was surprisingly popular despite being a spin-off that was clearly inferior to its original shows.
Yeah.
However, Sam and Cat only lasted one season and was canceled
It was literally
following
only
controversy
fucking
behind
one.
the scenes. Firstly, Jeanette
was like, what
McCurdy
happened to it?
posted this strange vine.
Hey, Dan Schneider. I know you're watching my Vine. Do you like my Vine? Vine. Vine. Look what you've done to me.
Considering she would speak out against him 10 years later, we now know this was not our imagination. He was really making her crazy. In her 2022 memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, McCurdy detailed
that's
her
still a crazy
childhood
title, by
and
the
how
way.
her mother, Deborah, forced her to become a child actor. Schneider was also mentioned in the memoir solely as the
That's good.
creator, who McCurdy claimed created an unsafe work environment, frequently subjecting the cast and crew to emotional abuse. When Jeanette turned 18 and iCarly was coming to an end, the
18?
creator allegedly dangled the opportunity for Jeanette to have her own spin-off. She wrote that the creator took her out to dinner, where he encouraged her to try alcohol for the first time and gave her a shoulder massage.
You're
The
not
creator
21.
is doing that
That's-
thing that
you're
I've
only
heard
18.
from my co-stars he does
smoke.
with every new star of a
I
show
think.
that he's making. He
But,
takes
like,
you under his wing.
yeah.
You're his favorite. Additionally, there was a feud between Ariana and Jeanette brewing behind the scenes. On Jeanette's podcast, she discussed her time on Sam and Cat, revealing that she was jealous of Ariana Grande because executives allowed her the opportunity to pursue other business ventures while restricting McCurdy's career advancement. Every time something exciting happens to her, I feel like she robbed me of having that experience myself. And every time someone calls me a good sport, all I feel is how much I don't want to be one. Ariana misses work in pursuit of her music career while I act with a box. I'm pissed about it, and I'm pissed at her, jealous of her. In case you're wondering, one episode of Sam and Cat was based around Cat getting trapped in a box, and Sam spent the whole episode trying to get her out. The writers had to come up with an episode without her because Ariana was busy with her music career and couldn't film. This show getting canceled after one very successful season was likely due to this feud, but I'm sure Dan's behavior towards Jeanette and Ariana made it easy for them to sever ties with Nickelodeon. This basically marks the end of Dan's dominance at the network. He was recognized for his 20 years of work at Nickelodeon with their very first Lifetime Achievement Award in 2014. For the few online that were aware of the rumors surrounding Dan, this award rubbed them the wrong way. Slowly in 2014 and after, we saw more media coverage pointing out inappropriate moments in his shows. But again, the masses, the general public, had no idea what he was doing. And for a few years, people stopped talking about him online. Until 2017, when the Harvey Weinstein Me Too movement shook industry predators to their core, and Dan tried to make it out unscathed. In October of 2017, investigative reports by The New York Times and The New Yorker exposed decades of sexual harassment, assault, and misconduct allegations against film producer Harvey Weinstein. This prompted bloggers who knew about Dan's history to discuss him once again. More blind items from the Crazy Days and Nights blog emerged, like this one that suggests Dan, the producer, was sleeping with cast members. A producer who has been featured on this site from almost the very beginning. When she landed the part, the producer never mentioned anything about sleeping with her. All but one of them were underage. She suspected that because she was legal for almost the entire run of the show, that he was just not that into her. At some point, he did try and sleep with her.
That nigga really is a pedophile.
Down. That rejection cost her a bunch of scene reductions.
Oh, hell
Meanwhile, the producer found someone else to sleep with who was...
Yo, that's so crazy. Hey, you won't sleep with me? I bet. Cut. Like, what? Man, I would be so pissed,
bro. Also legal, but loved to roleplay super young. She was getting the good lines and scenes. She was being offered crossover opportunities, and new shows were being developed for her. And again, this could just be people spreading lies, but now the pressure was on. And Nickelodeon, Dan Schneider, they could feel the heat. Websites like The Revenge of the Sis became fully dedicated to exposing the creepy nature of the Nickelodeon network.
Good job.
Good job,
website.
As the pressure was at an all-time high, Nickelodeon cut ties with Dan Schneider in March of 2018 and paid him the $7 million still owed on his contract. They claim this separation was a natural next step, and they are proud of the work he did for Nickelodeon. Deadline Hollywood reported that there had been complaints about Schneider's alleged behavior, including his well-documented temper issues for years. Following reports that Nickelodeon and Schneider parted ways, Dan's Twitter account went quiet. He only rarely made public appearances. He also tried to erase everything on his blog, but we still got that. Nickelodeon Studios even released its reboot of iCarly for the Paramount Plus streaming platform without Schneider. From Dan's exit in 2018 until today, YouTubers, bloggers, previous cast members, and media outlets greatly contributed to informing the public about Dan's ways. Perhaps the most detailed and detrimental article was the 2022 Business Insider Deep Dive, which interviewed 15 of Dan's former coworkers, some of which spoke horrible things, and others defended his character. Dan cared about the kids on his shows, even when sometimes their own families unfortunately did not. Russell Hicks, Nickelodeon's former president of content and production, wrote, "He was the shoulder they cried on when something happened to them. He understood what they were going through." Schneider drew hours away from writing scripts and instead spent time mingling with the stars on his shows, taking them out to dinner and inviting them to his house for holiday parties. It became so frequent that some of Schneider's colleagues questioned the amount of time he spent interacting with young actors.
Yeah, I would too.
While Dan focused on being accepted by the children on his shows, several writers and crew members claimed Schneider created an uncomfortable, bizarre environment, regularly demanding 14-plus hour days and expected writers and crew members to be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. More disturbing was Schneider's behavior towards female crew members, reportedly hugging them for extended periods as a joke, making people uncomfortable. Schneider also requested massages from adult female colleagues during his tenure at the network, according to several Nickelodeon staffers. Kerry Mellon, who worked as a costumer on Schneider's shows for 14 years, said Schneider received weekly massages from a third member of the costume team. blame. They also claimed that Schneider would ask the women to give him a massage by reaching under his shirt. Despite claims that he fostered a hostile
nasty,
work
disgusting,
environment, Schneider's
terrible.
shows at Nickelodeon were greenlighted because of his influence within the company. On-set employees rarely pushed back against Schneider. Another writer said, "Because you just didn't cross Dan. He was a really scary presence." However, it took all the way until the Quiet on Set documentary before Dan ever responded to any of these allegations.
Nasty.
And watching that show,
Look who it is.
It made me,
it's him.
There were so many times I wanted to pick up a phone and call some of those people and say, "I'm so sorry, and let's talk about it. And I wish you'd had a better time, and I wish I could have shown you a better experience."
The rest of this conversation was him deflecting blame. He said that his inappropriate jokes were approved by the executives at Nickelodeon.
Hell no. You still made the jokes either way.
Appropriate at the time. But he also said that since people are upset about those jokes, then he's okay with erasing them, which makes people wonder, are they inappropriate or not? Yeah. He claims he had no knowledge of any sexual assault that any of his previous cast members experienced.
I'm saying, like,
he did admit to demanding massages.
He did?
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong.
Oh, he admitted it right there. Lock him up.
It was wrong.
Lock him up.
I'd never do it
Heard the
today.
boy. Heard the man.
I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation.
You heard the man.
And even additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe them an apology as well. Yeah.
He 100% wholeheartedly admitted that he forced people to touch him, which is interesting because it becomes
so
very difficult
weird,
to
man.
believe that he would stop there. Perhaps the craziest part about this video is that there's still so much more that I could cover.
There's still
Some
more?
people's entire YouTube channels are dedicated to bringing Dan's dark secrets to light.
That's good.
But I do want to leave off with this message.
All right, what?
Just remember that it's easy to think that this is all just entertainment because, well, these allegations feature some of our favorite child stars.
Yeah.
Remember that they were real victims that had to suffer. People
Yeah.
have gotten so wrapped up and excited about this expose that they're now blaming innocent people for being complicit in these alleged crimes. For example, Zoe 101 star Matthew Underwood was getting death threats for not speaking out against Dan Schneider.
Like, what?
So to prove to these people that he is innocent, he voiced 2 different times where he was sexually assaulted as a minor. So now, after hearing many of the allegations, the rumors, the testimonies, the convictions, the confessions surrounding...
I get what they mean by this nigga is a very fucking powerful man, so like obviously they can't do anything about it. So there's like no reason to send death threats and shit like that to his house. It's not his fault. He really can't do anything about it, you know? He's just, this nigga is just in a fucking great position where like the network like just won't cut him. He's just in the fucking best position in his life.
Dan Schneider's time on Nickelodeon, is it all just a coincidence, a conspiracy, or a calculated crime conglomerate?
Man, great fucking video, Patrick, bro. Great fucking video. That's it. That's all I got for this video. Dan Schneider, you're fucking weird as hell. That's crazy. Nigga fucking loves feet. Them fucking feet scenes had me in ill. But yeah, that's about it. So bye.